What happens when one of the NFL's biggest stars turns a historic touchdown into a love letter not to football, but to pop music's biggest icon? On October 27th, Travis Kelce hit a milestone that few players ever reach, his 100th career touchdown. But instead of a typical spike or victory dance, he gave fans something totally unexpected, a nod to Taylor Swift that instantly broke the internet. In a moment that felt straight out of a music video, Kelce jumped up, threw his arms into that familiar Fate of Ophelia motion, and flashed the grin that said it all. It wasn't loud, it wasn't flashy, just subtle enough for Swifties to catch it and lose their minds. Within minutes, the clip spread across X, TikTok, and Instagram, with fans dissecting every second like it was a hidden Easter egg in a Taylor album rollout. And while most saw it as a sweet tribute, those who know the couple's story realized there was something deeper behind that gesture, a perfect blend of love, loyalty, and legacy. Because for Travis, this touchdown wasn't just another Sunday game. It was history in motion. When the Kansas City Chiefs squared off against the Washington Commanders on October 27th, few expected the match to become one of the defining moments of his career. But midway through the game, Kelce found the end zone for the 100th time in his NFL journey, a feat that cements his legacy among the greatest tight ends the league has ever seen. That number, 100, carries weight. It's not just a milestone, it's a statement of longevity, consistency, and sheer dominance. Only a handful of players in NFL history have ever reached it, and even fewer have done so with the same mix of swagger and heart that defines Kelce's style. Across 13 seasons, through countless injuries, playoff battles, and Super Bowl runs, he's become more than a star athlete. He's a cultural icon in his own right. And when the moment finally arrived, the crowd knew it was special. Arrowhead Stadium erupted. The Chiefs' sideline went wild, and for a brief second, even the opposing defense seemed to acknowledge the history unfolding before them. But what truly made the moment unforgettable wasn't just the number on the scoreboard, it was what came next. The instant Travis Kelce crossed into the end zone, you could tell this celebration was going to be different. No roaring spike, no chest-thumping flex. Instead, he broke into a short but unmistakable dance, a move that every Swiftie in the stadium recognized instantly. With his arms pulsing up and down in rhythm and a little shoulder shimmy, Kelce recreated part of Taylor Swift's Fate of Ophelia choreography from her recent music video. It was subtle enough that casual viewers might have missed it, but for fans who've spent months decoding every glance and lyric between these two, it was crystal clear. This wasn't just a touchdown dance, it was a message. A wink across the field to the woman who's turned stadiums into her own empire. The crowd didn't even need an explanation. Cameras panned to the luxury suite where Taylor, dressed in that signature red turtleneck, was already on her feet, cheering beside Brittany Mahomes. She clapped, laughed, and mouthed something that fans later slowed down frame by frame trying to read. It was one of those electric moments where sports and pop culture collided perfectly. The kind of thing that gets replayed for days, not just because of the play, but because of the connection behind it. Within minutes, social media exploded. Fans posted side-by-side clips comparing Kelce's move to Taylor's original video. Tweets poured in calling it the most Swift-coded touchdown ever and proof Travis is in his lover era. Even NFL commentators couldn't resist a chuckle, noting that this might be the first time a touchdown dance doubled as a romantic gesture. But to those who followed their story, the gesture carried an even deeper meaning, because this wasn't just about showmanship. It was a quiet nod to the relationship that's changed both their lives, and it hinted that Travis's celebration was only the beginning of the story. When the camera cut to the luxury suite, the reaction said it all. Taylor Swift was beaming. Dressed in that signature red coat, she stood shoulder to shoulder with Brittany Mahomes, clapping and shouting as Travis celebrated below. It wasn't a planned appearance, at least not publicly. Reports say Taylor had slipped into Arrowhead Stadium quietly before kickoff. But the second Travis hit that 100th touchdown, her excitement was impossible to hide. It's wild to think that just over a year ago, Taylor didn't even know what a tight end was. She's admitted it herself. She learned the game because of Travis. Fast forward to now, and she's a full-blown football fanatic, yelling play calls, celebrating first downs, and even talking draft picks on her podcast appearances. It's the kind of transformation no one saw coming, and it's part of what makes this couple so fascinating to watch. Two megastars from completely different worlds finding common ground in stadium lights and Sunday energy. But what really makes their romance stand out is how unhidden it is. Taylor isn't retreating from the spotlight like she did years ago during her more private relationships. She's out there, front and center, cheering, laughing, living. Every time the camera pans to her suite, it feels like a moment of pure, unfiltered joy. It's a refreshing contrast to her guarded past, and fans can't get enough of it. For Travis, it's the same story. He's made it clear that while he loves to joke around and play around, he's serious about protecting what they have. On his New Heights podcast, he once admitted that he's learning to draw the line, to share just enough for fans to enjoy the ride, but not so much that it feels like a circus. Still, moments like this prove that when it comes to Taylor, he's not afraid to wear his heart and his dance moves on his sleeve. And as that celebration clip made its rounds online, one thing became clear. This wasn't just a football highlight, it was a pop culture event, the latest chapter in a love story that's rewritten the rules of fame, fandom, and what it means to truly show up for someone. At first glance, Travis Kelce's Fate of Ophelia dance looked like a simple inside joke, a boyfriend nodding to a pop star fiancé. But beneath the surface, it carried a weight that goes far beyond the end zone. This was a symbolic moment, a merging of two empires that have come to define modern pop culture, the NFL's reigning champion and the world's most powerful musician, finding a way to speak the same language without saying a single word. The number 100 itself felt poetic. It's a classic phrase, keeping it 100, meaning staying real, staying true. For Kelce, that touchdown represented more than a career achievement. It was proof that even with the fame, the pressure, the cameras constantly following their every move, he's still grounded in who he is. And the fact that he paired that moment with a dance from Taylor's video, it was like saying, I'm still me, but I'm hers too. It's moments like these that explain why their relationship fascinates so many people. They're not just dating, they're blending worlds. Travis brought football fans into Taylor's orbit. Taylor brought her millions of Swifties into the NFL conversation. The result, one of the most talked about cultural intersections of the decade. And yet, for all the hype, their connection still feels strangely authentic. There's no overproduced PDA, no forced headlines, just two people thriving in their respective arenas and quietly cheering for each other in the middle of it all. Even their gestures, like this dance, feel organic, private emotions turned into public art. Some fans have even speculated, and it's important to note, only speculated, that the Fate of Ophelia reference could be more than a tribute. Rumors suggest it may hint at new creative projects, maybe even a subtle collaboration or narrative thread in Taylor's next era. Whether that's true or just fan imagination, the fact that people are connecting those dots shows the cultural gravity this couple holds. In the end, Travis's 100th touchdown wasn't just a sports highlight. It was a love note written in motion, a signal that, in their story, touchdowns and tour stops might just be different verses of the same song. And if this was his way of saying, I'm all in, then it's safe to say he really did keep it 100. Both on the field and in the heart of the woman who rewrote his playbook. When the cameras finally panned away and the roar of the stadium began to fade, one thing was clear. This moment wasn't just about football. Travis Kelce's 100th touchdown will go down as a career milestone, yes, but it also became something much bigger, a love story told in real time in front of millions. It showed how effortlessly these two worlds, the gridiron and the global stage, have started to blend through one couple's connection. In an age where celebrity relationships often feel performative or short-lived, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have turned theirs into something that feels both monumental and refreshingly human. His dance wasn't scripted, her reaction wasn't rehearsed, yet somehow it felt cinematic, like a moment that symbolized more than either of them could have planned. It was passion meeting purpose, fame meeting authenticity, and maybe that's why people can't look away, because behind the viral clips and the endless commentary, there's a story unfolding that feels almost poetic, a reminder that even in a world built on spectacle, the most powerful moments are the ones that still feel real.